Hey, thanks for tuning in today. I wanted to share something that I created a while ago and just maybe talk through a bit about what I was thinking. So, I wrote this because I work with lots of clients and they're like, oh, I just want to figure out how to get buy in. So, these are clients that work in sort of big global companies. They have to do a lot of influencing, kind of leading without authority, but need people to help them move an idea. They need to get feedback from people. So how do you do that? So I created this one-page PDF, which I'll link to in the show notes for this. And it's called 9 Powerful Ways to Get Buy-in on Any Project That I Wish I Knew from the Start, because I was doing it all wrong, kind of playing a bit too much by the rules when I was trying to do this. And then I figured out, oh, there's actually side quests that you can do, different things you can do to get buy-in that people don't really talk about. Okay, so the first one is, instead of trying to get buy-in, which kind of comes later, like you've created something and then you need people to buy into it, I would suggest try to get pre-sales, right? So try to get people interested even before you've created the thing. So if you're waiting until launch day to get people excited, I think you're too late. You need to sell the idea first, get a few on board for a pilot, collect the testimonials, refine and watch the excitement build. That, like, people say to me, we need to bring people on the journey. And I say to them, okay, well then bring them on the journey, as opposed to doing the whole, ta-da, this is what we created. The second thing is work in public. So I suggest, and this is why Instagram stories is actually really powerful, because it's a lot of just behind the scenes, photos of what's going on. And I think people really love that transparency. A lot of those kitchens that you go to, you can see the chefs actually cooking your meal. It's appealing. So work in public is really around, as you're building whatever the project is, snap those behind the scenes moments, document the discussions, and let people see the messiness of creation, right? So scrappy flip charts, selfies of you or with the team, working through it. People love the journey. And so what you're doing is you're actually marketing it as you're building it. Let them feel like they're part of something even before it's ready. I did this with my book. I was sharing constantly, like, behind the scenes, what I'm thinking, when I was working at the cafe, who I was talking to about it. That was really powerful. The third is to listen to the lyrics. And I actually stole this from Pat Flynn in his book Superfans, but it's so powerful. If you want to really resonate with people, you got to really listen to them. So tune into the exact words that your stakeholders or your audience are using and mirror them. You don't need to tweak the words or reinterpret them. What I mean by that is, when someone says something, you want to capture those words verbatim, exactly as they are. Do not paraphrase them, because they lose the impact. And when they see themselves reflected in your language, they'll say, oh my gosh, it's like you're reading my mind. This actually happened to me back in 2020 when things were going a bit crazy. I'm like, oh gosh, what do I do? How do I serve the people on my email list? So I went on this listening tour. People booked in 15 minutes from all around the world. I jumped on all these different calls. And my goal was to really just listen to what they were saying, note it down. I looked at patterns, and then I was like, oh, cool, I can offer this program. And when I did that, actually, someone that was on the call messaged me. She bought my thing and she's like, oh my gosh, it was like you read my mind. I just listened and responded. A lot of the time we think marketing is about being creative around the words, but often it's just mirroring back to the person what that is. And just on a side note there, what I might do is make this a 2-parter, because I want to go into detail on this third point. So I'll do part 2 next week of 9 Powerful Ways to Get Buy-in. In Jonah Berger's book, Invisible Influence, he talks about this study they did in the Netherlands, and they had, it wasn't a big study. They went to a restaurant one night, had 2 different wait staff on. So obviously this isn't really even a study. It's kind of more anecdotal, but one waiter was told to just take the order from the people that were dining at the restaurant. The second waiter was told to, when they got the order, to repeat it back to the group. And then at the end of the evening, they compared the tips and who got paid higher. And the person that got tipped higher was the one who repeated the order back to the person. And I agree with this. Like, when I'm out and someone repeats my order back, I feel more confident that they've got it right. It's like, even when I call someone and they need to take my phone number down, I find it really weird when I give them my phone number and they're just writing it down, but they don't repeat it back. I feel very uncertain. So there's real power in repeating things back. We'll go to number 4, give your project a great name. So important, like what we actually call things, right? So a boring name is pretty much a death sentence. It's not going to stand out. If you're trying to get attention internally, it's going to be tough. You need something different. Your project name should spark interest, raise eyebrows, or make people curious. Again, back when I was working in corporate life, there was a project team assembled and they were called like Project Blue. And none of us had any idea what they were doing, but we were so curious around what it was, just because the name was so James Bond-esque, right? Not that every project name needs to be like that, but often like having a status meeting is just like, it's a boring name. It is what it is, but maybe sometimes you can throw in like a coffee and questions. Just change up the name of what you're offering to get buy-in and to get that curiosity. And here's number 5. This will be the last one in this episode, is to ditch the pitch. And skip the slides is actually what I mean by this. Skip the slides, grab a flip chart or whiteboard. So when you show slides to someone, what you're suggesting to them is that this is final. But when you have a flip chart and you might be drawing what you're thinking, that gives someone, it's just as subtle, no, it's not even that subtle, that they can grab a flip chart marker and jump in and help co-create it with you. So I would suggest, as you're forming this, as you're trying to bring people along, instead of showing them slide after slide, even if you say, hey, this is draft, you're kind of giving the sense that it's polished, it's done. So I would actually use writing, get people to, just jump in with you and co-create that. It's more alive, it's more in progress as well. A lot of the sketches really invite collaboration. All right, that's 5 of 9. I'll share the rest with you next week, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.